So I just got out of therapy. I do my therapy online on DoxyMe. It's like Zoom for doctor's appointments. So I don't have to go into an office. If I had to go into an office, I would not be in therapy. I was talking to her about my intrusive thoughts, how I've been having problems sleeping. And when I get intrusive thoughts of just things that I had either done wrong or failed to do while I was in the throes of my addiction and wasn't taking proper care of my children. And she was telling me in that moment, instead of feeling shame or disgust, to visualize embracing that older version of myself and showing them compassion. And I told her that I struggled with that. I struggle with showing myself compassion when I have intrusive thoughts because of the things that I've done. Like, I was a whole drug addict. It took me 8 years to get custody back of my children. And then she was like, well, there are people out there that it took them 20 years to get custody back of their children. There are people out there that never got custody of their children. There are people out there who don't even care to get custody of their children, don't know where they are. And in my head, I'm like, okay, well, that's not the standard. I don't want to compare myself to the worst of the worst to make myself feel better. But then I had to really think about it and say, well, that is true. And so this is going to have to be a process for me. I'm not just going to automatically forgive myself, but I'm gonna have to. I've forgiven everybody else that has done all the atrocities that I have experienced. I have forgiven everybody, not for them, for me, because I don't want to walk around with all that toxicity in me, eating me from the inside out. That's why I forgave them. But why have I not given myself that grace? I felt like I didn't deserve it. I hurt people that I loved. But it's like, we've all hurt people we love, girl. You deserve to give yourself some grace. Visualization techniques have been brought up in so many arenas of my education. I was taught visualization by my vocal coach when she talked about making space in your mouth and visualizing the shape of the sound you want to make. I was taught visualization in rehab when they talked to us about how you would handle it when you get out and people want to offer you drugs, to walk yourself through those situations before they happen. And I use visualization with my anxiety. Like, I have a doctor's appointment coming up to check my levels to see if I have low vitamin. I already know I'm anemic, but to get my levels checked because that can affect your mental health. We were also talking about that. So what I do to manage my anxiety about going outside is to walk myself through the doctor's office before I go in and do the intake, go sit down. How are you going to react if somebody calls? What do you do when they call your name? Go back there, stand on the weight scale, talk to the doctor. Like, I go through the whole process so that mentally I've already experienced it and it lowers my anxiety. This giving myself grace is something I'm going to have to train myself to do. I feel like it's the last step before I evolve to whatever the next level of evolution is for me, because I am holding on to a lot of shame and grief and sadness and regret for the things that I have done and the things that I have failed to do in my past. But I'm going to have to find a way to do it. I've forgiven everyone else in my life, and it's time to forgive myself. I love you. Thank you for spending time with me here in Fury World. Have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Peace.